What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, J2 Breezy, Cold World, D2M Universe, back at it again with another episode of the Ordinary Misfits podcast. How are you guys doing this evening?
Blessed, my boy, blessed.
He said he's
How are you doing?
I'm like a sunflower in the sun. I'm chill.
Chill.
I'm blossoming.
You blossoming. Oh, I like that. I see you. Fresh twist. You letting the hair hang?
Yeah.
I see you. Yeah, two
Hey,
strand
the
twist.
shoulder hair.
Yeah,
shoulder
that
hair.
boy.
No,
That
we're
boy
shoulder
letting
guys.
he letting that hair grow, letting that hang. Okay, I see you. J. Cole, how's the new puppy treating you?
Man, bro, I can't get no sleep. My thing is, right, so when I'm at work or when I'm at class during the day, he's chilling, he's sleeping, like he's doing his thing. And then I get home and like we chill, we hang out, we go play outside. But then when it's time to go to bed and like time for me to get my rest, he is wide open, bouncing off the walls, wanting to do everything under the sun, or I guess everything under the moon. But it's been enjoyable. He is a menace and an angel at the same time. It depends on what mood he wakes up in that instance.
Word up. A menace and look, you gonna pet that dog? Did you give him a Scooby-Doo collar?
No, it was just a little temporary blue collar. He actually is switching to yellow. Because we color coordinate all the dogs, so all the dogs have a different color. Right now, he's matching with one of the other ones, but he's got a new collar coming in shortly. It is already en route.
Excuse me for the interruption.
Go ahead.
But is anybody else besides me in tears from laughing at Dion and the Colorado Buffaloes?
Okay, that I went to bed and it was 29-0. Woke up 46-43.
I'm gonna tell you something. My uncle always told me playing football. I've heard from all the great coaches. Man. If you jog on my field, we're going to lose. And it was the reverse sweep from Xavier Weaver that put them up 29-0 in the first quarter. He walked in the end zone, and Dion was like, "No." And you could see Dion just furious. He was like, and I woke up the next morning. I said, "I bet they lost." And I look at my phone. 46-43. I said, how do you let them come back from 29-0 and win 46-40? That means you get your OC get off the gas, your DC get off the gas, start putting in screws. I'm like, you don't do that. As my uncle would say, how do you kill a gnat? With a sludge hammer. You give them no room to breathe. And I was just like, dude, Cole, you have a massive thing on your chest. It's a doctor.
He's wide open right now.
Go. He said, pet that dog.
He gonna pet that dog. You petting that dog.
Every time Marty said pet the dog, come on.
What's up, Cha-Cha? You good, buddy?
It was just men. You know, they're all gravitating towards the camera. You know.
Yeah, my dog don't know to bring his ass in here.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Andrea, how you doing, girl?
Hello.
How you doing, girl? That's my twin sister, if y'all didn't know.
How you doing, Bobby?
But life's been going good for you guys. How you guys been doing mentally, physically, spiritually?
Ooh.
I'm mentally refreshed. Spiritually, I am. How do I put this? From when I first met you and I gave you the information, way better. Way better. Better with that. Physically, I gotta get blue like 20 pounds before November 1st, or I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna be fined $1,000. I hate paying money.
What they gonna find you a K for?
Because I'm a basketball official and I'll be doing varsity games and sub-varsity, which means I'll be doing like private schools by high-end, dunk on your neck, make ESPN's top Christian 100 plays. and they don't play like any other normal Christian schools. They're not the 5 and pass and shoot. They're the catch it, kick it, dunker. And I got to beat that kid down the court. And at 245, 260, I can't do that because my knees hurt. So I got to lose this weight or to be in tribune. I'm trying to get back. Been drinking a gallon of water today.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Trying to get back cute, for the court.
You gotta do some running. You gotta do some running.
Yes, sir. I do. I does that.
Jumping jack.
I feel like
knee highs.
I feel like, ooh, I hate them knee highs. The high knees. Ooh.
High knees. Yeah. I hated bear crawls. Bear crawls were the worst.
You guys are blessed. I can say I can name an exercise right now. Y'all were like, what is that? You ever heard of Scald the Dog?
No, I've never heard of that.
So Scald the Dog is a college drill or a semi-pro drill when you get high enough, where you put your hands to your side like you're doing push-ups. Your feet go like this, and you hop down the field, and you must touch every yard line. Look at Cole.
Sound like death.
Because you like, and you sound like a scalded dog. Yeah. By the end of you done.
No, we had whenever we got in trouble in soccer, we had to run stadiums. And then after we run stadiums, we had to do death crawls where it's basically bear crawls, but with somebody on your back.
Yes.
And so I always, mind you, when I was in high school, I was barely 100 pounds. Like the wind would blow, I go flying. That's how scrawny and lightweight I was.
Oh, you like me? You was like me now.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. But not as tall though. I was like 5'10",
okay,
5'9", 5'10", 100 between freshman year of high school. I probably was 90 pounds. That was before I started working out and stuff like that. But anyways, so it was always easy for the guy who I had to be on their back. But when it was my turn, bro, when I tell you, I would get about 15 yards and just be like, Coach, I'm done. Like, I can't carry this dude. This dude is like 180 and I'm 100 pounds. What am I doing carrying the dude 180? Almost like it was. And the thing was, everybody be like, hey, Mar, you partner with me. And I'm like, no, can I want to pick somebody who's smaller than me. Like that, I could easily just do that.
Let me get the 7th grade.
Was that Savannah? Hey, Savannah.
Yeah.
Did y'all sneak in there? Would I say hello? Wow.
Dang, she straight dipped on us, man.
I'm hurt right now.
We were hey, look, in case anyone needs to know, my boy Breezy over here posted some pictures on his social media account of him and his beautiful family.
We styling, we profiling.
Most photogenic couple you gonna see out here. Like I literally was looking at the photo. I was like, I'd have had to take them photos at least 20 times. Hey, there she goes. Look at her comment. There we go.
Hey, Savannah, you can never bother us, okay? You can never bother us. All right.
Yeah, see them photos. Them photos was adorable.
Hey, like it's all Kairos and Kaylee. That's what that is.
Man, don't even, man.
I was just the shadow. I was just the shadow in green. What are you talking about? Like, calm down.
I'm like, what's the name when it comes to taking pictures? I'm like, Mahomes. That's it. One's enough. That's it. I'm done.
He said one's enough.
It's my party. Take the picture. I'm done.
Oh man.
Y'all know that one friend. You know that one friend that's always like, you take a picture, like y'all take a group photo, and he's like, or they're like, not that it's gender exclusive, but like, when that person's like, nah, we got to retake it. I don't like the way I look in that photo.
Yeah. That's
you?
Me.
That's me, bro. Yeah. I'll be the one to look at it like, nah, my eyes are closed. We got to retake it.
Literally. My eye crooked. What? Yeah. Yeah, I've always been crooked.
My smile's only on half. We got to retake it. That lighting ain't hitting me good. We got to retake it.
That's me at work, bro. Look what I'm doing. I don't look at the camera. I always make fun of people.
Nothing.
Not you.
That's in every work picture. Either I'm like this, something stupid. Never serious.
Hey, D2, I bet you wouldn't have done that. I bet you wouldn't have done that in high school, though.
I did.
He would have done this.
I did. Bro, I have no consequence.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Bro,
man.
Every time I think of that, I still get as excited and as overjoyed as when you said it the first time. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, J. Cole. I'll roast you for the rest of the stream.
I was a little person.
Oh man. That was funny.
Hey,
so apparently chat saying that Cole takes terrible pictures of other people though.
I do. I can't take a good picture or I can't get a good picture of myself. So I take I got the most embarrassing photos of all my loved ones, like all my friends, all my siblings, all my parents, like both my parents. I take the most embarrassing pictures of all my homeboys, all my homegirls, everybody. It's and then the best thing is like when it goes to like birthdays or like anniversaries or something. Yep, and I'll post them, bro.
As you should. In
my happy birthday or anything, it's like horrible photos.
Keys with the finger on the camera. That's you.
Yeah. Or like I'll wait till you're like mid-sentence and then like I'll slowly just have my phone up like this, like acting like I'm just taking or not taking it, acting like I'm texting or something, and I'll just go click and then go down. That's it, bro. It's the funniest thing. Everyone gets so mad about it, but hey,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly, man. Like it ain't even. It's not a disrespect thing. It's not like to make them funny or make fun of them. But like more of like, well, one, it's not too embarrassing for me. But also like for me, it's so easy. Like, you know, we tend to get caught up on like our own imperfections, but it's easy to do that. Like it's easy for us to look at ourselves and be like, oh, I got a gap in my teeth, or like, oh,
okay, whoa. Why the first thing you gotta say you got a gap in your teeth? I feel attacked.
Okay,
feel attacked.
Your teeth. No, okay, let me change. Your teeth ain't wide enough, or like
your
face isn't clear enough. You know, like
what do you mean by that?
My teeth ain't white. They not pearly whites.
I feel like Cole's taking shots, man.
Nah. Y'all my boys. Y'all my boys.
Oh, now we're your boys. Next we're gonna be your cat. Next you're gonna turn the Tyler College monkeys.
Chill out. I was gonna say y'all my dogs, but then I knew what
you gonna pet that dog.
Literally, exactly.
Pet that dog.
I knew what was coming after that. And then I'm not gonna say y'all my man. Y'all my mans, but nah, that's
D2's your man. D2 your man. Right on cue.
How you doing? You see, I got my hoodie on. Go. Hey, what do you say? I'll be cheering my jailhouse boobies off of you.
Oh my gosh, y'all are crazy.
Hey,
what's up, William West?
Yo, so little small intro, right? What was
F the Saints?
Ooh. Yeah, F the Saints.
Oh,
speaking for Tyler.
No, that's it. That's where Williams West team is the Saints.
Oh,
I mean, I can't talk trash about them because they spanked my Patriots.
That man had the picture. Would you do something, dude? I thought you were gonna put you want to see a dead body, but you put it. Would you do something?
Come on, you do something, please. That's just how I feel about my Patriots right now, man.
So I haven't been able to watch any of y'all's games. I've been able to see the highlights.
You don't need to watch.
But I'm gonna be honest.
Low light?
Yeah, well, I was about to say even the highlights. There's not much for the offense because it's mostly just them punting the ball.
Yeah, we suck.
I did see y'all re-signed, or y'all signed Malik to a 3-year.
Cunningham 3-year. Yeah, I think he. If Matt keeps playing the way that he played, I think he'll take over by the end of the season.
What about was
Bailey Zappi trash? Yeah.
Oh, so I thought he was QB2. Did he get moved down to QB3?
He got moved down to QB3. Yeah.
Dang.
Both him and Mac Jones are playing worse than an orangutan booty hole.
I got that, but I just got one question. What about Jared Goff? How about them Lions?
Hey, look. I mean,
I should have had that clip. I should have had the clip of him bad mouthing Jared Goff just so I could play it right now, just to see your face.
Man.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I can't even.
I'm podcasting right now.
He making me eat my words, man. I mean, I keep waiting for him to have a bonehead like game. I can't even shame, bro. He's playing pretty good. I will stick with my original sentiment of he is not a like a huge threat. He is a game manager.
Yeah.
But he's done a great job of not turning the ball over at a high rate. Amon-Ra has just been outstanding. Laporta has been putting up great numbers, especially for a rookie throughout the first couple of weeks. My biggest thing is the defense. Like even when defense has a mishap, them boys is tough. They playing it. They're playing hard. They're playing rough, and they're playing together. Which isn't something I'm accustomed to seeing from a Lions team these past few years, especially. But no, I mean, like I said in the chat, man, I this man's making me eat my words from earlier. Like if you'd have told me that we were going to be 5-1 going through week 6, coming into week 7, I would have called you crazy. But it has been pretty good.
Y'all hear that?
Yes. Yes.
This is why you don't get a dog that's half husky, bro. This is what I deal with. What do you want?
It's cold. You want to go outside?
He got fed already. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So let me ask with the half husky, right? Because one thing with Dachshunds is they cannot stand going outside if it's like rainy.
He hates the heat.
Okay.
So summertime, he'll go outside for 2 seconds. He'll use the bathroom, is right back inside. Nala, she's a half lab, half pit, she likes to sunbathe. So she'll stay out there, soak in the sun and all that. But him, he'll start hollering like he's never been loved before. Just boy. This dude bold.
He's the star of the show right now.
He really is.
He's like,
Gotcha. What do you want?
Outside.
Can you sit? You've been outside twice already. All right, lay down.
It's like 60 degrees outside right now.
Stay.
It's 60 degrees down there for y'all?
Yeah. Finally.
Dang.
It was 66 this morning. 71 was a high for us today.
Yeah, same.
We having that fall into winter like mix of cool breezes. So it's like a solid like high of like 50, maybe 60 max, but with the wind or like the wind chill, it didn't feel like it.
This is my favorite time of the year. Actually, once it gets a little more chilly, that hoodie weather, that is my favorite time of year, man.
That's 365, buddy.
What do I swear, bro? Hoodies and sweaters year round, unless the heat index is like through the roof.
Not for me. Once in Texas, once it hits springtime, I can't wear no hoodie because I'll be drenched in sweat.
I wear them in the house all year long.
I'll be drenched in sweat.
Okay, so I've been my brother David has been home for the last couple of days, really the last couple of weeks. And so me and him have been watching just a bunch of like a collection of movies. Like when I get out of class or when I get home from work, we've been chilling, just watching movies. And I knew that I really loved Eddie Murphy and his collection of films, right? But we watched Life with Martin Lawrence the other week, like a week ago. And then we watched.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
Oh, I know. Oh, such a good movie. And then we watched Haunted Mansion because we wanted like more of a Halloween themed. So we put on we put on Haunted Mansion earlier. And And it like I knew that I loved Eddie Murphy's movies and his collection of films.
Yeah.
But like I was sitting there and it hit me with life, but it was like reiterated today with the Haunted Mansion. I'm like, dude, I could watch his movies all day, every day. Like I don't get tired of Eddie Murphy.
That's how I am with Denzel Washington.
Denzel, that's a great choice.
I could watch all his movies all day.
I really like I would definitely put Eddie near the top for me, but I do also love some Martin Lawrence too.
Yeah.
Saul and Ray Gibson.
But
you want a second? I'm gonna put him outside.
Oh, he'll like it. He'll like it right now. It's nice. It's nice and chill. Sun's gone down. He gonna be living his best life out there.
Living my best life.
Ooh. Bro, my man got that trampoline in there. Boy, I'll put a little mini hoop on the wall back there, right above like them yellow
flying.
Right above, yeah, literally right behind them little yellow pillows. I put a little thing on the wall, a little hoop on the wall, and I would have a little trampoline set up. I'd be doing slam dunk edition dunks out there. We'd be having daily dunk contests, especially with the couch right there. You just land on the couch. Oh yeah, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all would see me going 360 between the legs, probably snapping my arm in half from landing on it. Like I'd be trying everything under the sun. Plus, you know me, I don't have no bounce, so that'd be about as close to a realistic dunk as I'm gonna get. Unless they lower rims. Now, if we have like a no-fly zone league where they lower the leagues like 2 feet or lower the rims 2 feet, we might could do something with that. Otherwise, I'm chopped liver. All right.
Y'all ready to get into it?
We got a juicy one.
Should be a good episode as we talk about relationships. Relationships, man. And I kind of really want to talk, like, I want us to kind of focus on the male aspect of things. Mainly because all three of us are males. But I'm a male.
Did you just assume my gender?
Hey,
I
sir,
mean, I'll go based off of what you've told me, but if something changed today, go on and share. It's a safe place.
Nah.
But no, yeah, just, you know, I want to talk about certain things, especially like there's this persona, or I don't want to say persona, there's the stigma out there that like the reason why relationships suck right now, or the reason why we see so many breakups, divorces, is because men suck at relationships. And so I kind of want to tackle that issue, and just kind of speak on the things that we've probably been through, and things that we've, you know, through different relationships that we've had, what we had to work on, and to like grow so that, you know, when we get to the next relationship that we're a much better version of ourselves. Because I truly believe that, you know, before I met the love of my life, you know, with each relationship came a learning process, right? With each breakup, there was something to learn. Now, a lot of my young self was, a lot of the breakups were my fault, just mainly because I either geared myself towards it, or it was just like, you know, just me being a dumb male, a dumb guy in that relationship, and like taking things for granted and stuff like that. But I want us to tackle the issue of men suck at relationships.
Let's do it.
Is that kind of cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Now,
four calls in, brother.
So when you hear that, like, how does it, one, as guys, how does that make you feel? That men, when you hear people say that, not say people, when you hear women say men suck at relationship, how does that make you feel?
May I go first, please? Because I've been
Yeah,
waiting.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like this. Women, I can't speak for all women, but I can speak for those women that say ain't no good men left. Da 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 da. And the reason they say that because they want to be wined, dined, and spoiled. They want to be treated like their moms are treated, but they're not giving mom exemplaries. They're out there selling OnlyFans pictures and feet finder pics and all that. You got 7 OnlyFans pages where you getting your ankles and your kneecaps and your back blown out, but you want a husband type guy for a thought type woman. You want a guy to love you for who you are, but you can get his little brother who don't know a piece of paper from a crayon. Oh, that's old girl on TikTok right there. Her Twitch is so and so, or her Instagram is this. You want a good man. You want a man to take care of you and provide for you, but you're not doing what a woman who wants to be taken care of and provided for should be doing. You want to be in the streets making your money, spending his money, keeping everything else, and talking to Tom, Dick, and Harry. So I feel like women say that men aren't good men or men miss their relationships because they're looking for what their mother has and they're not exemplifying mother traits. They're not showing they could be a good housewife. They can't 95% of the women they can't cook, can't clean. Can't cook, can't clean. And if they got a kid, the kid look like a bum and they dress in Gucci and Versace and red bottoms, and they tell your friend, if you ain't got no money, I can't deal with you. So me personally, I feel like women that say there are no good men left or the men who do real relationships, it's because of what they chase. You chasing one thing, but you act in a certain way. That's my take on it.
But how's it? So that but how does it make you feel though? Like you personally, like
you personally,
if someone were to tell you that, like how would you feel about that statement?
I would personally look at them and laugh in their face because I know what I bring to the table. I know what kind of man I am. I know what kind of man my grandma was raised and my granddaddy's raised, my mother, my dad raised. I was taught how to treat a woman the proper way, how to open doors, how to make her feel wanted, how to make her feel valued, how to give her affirmations. I just learned it 3 years ago with my wife, how to give her affirmation. It doesn't happen overnight, but I feel like if a woman says, I'm not a good man, it's because she don't know what a good man looks like. Oh, there ain't no good men left. Well, what do you call a good man? He got to be 6'9", 302 pounds, drive a Bugatti and have $1 million in the bank. Do you have that? No. So how you going to chase what you don't have? So I feel like personally, I would laugh in their face because it wouldn't bother me because I know what kind of man I am and what I bring to the table. Do I have hiccups? Of course. Am I at fault for some of the stuff I've done? Of course. Did I blow up my marriage and pray to God to get back together? Of course. So I know what I can do and I know what I'm capable of doing. And so I feel like that statement is an invalid statement because it doesn't go for every man. Some men, yes. Every man, no.
What about you, Cole?
So just to clarify, we're talking how we would feel if we heard that there isn't any good men, right?
Well, the question
all
is
men are trash.
how does that statement make you feel that men aren't good at relationships? How does that statement make you feel?
Ooh, I mean that a little bit annoyed, a little bit angry, or not really angry, just upset, but also a little hurt, right? And not only just for like me as a guy and like for other guys, but also for the ones saying it. One thing I've noticed, right, is like one thing that bothers me is grouping, like generalization, right? Putting all men into a group or putting all women into a group, all people of one race into a group, putting all of one nation into a group, right? Like it is such a flawed thing because there's not one thing. There's like a few things that you could say about all people, and that's their breeding, right? They're here. You can't say they're coherent. Not everyone's coherent. You can't say they're intelligent. Not everyone is intelligent. And even if we did say everyone is intelligent, what are the standards that we're going on, right? But especially to be like, men aren't good at relationships, right? That hurts me, because then I'm like, well, one, if you could feel that way, right? And the blind, you know the statement, the blind follow the blind, right? It takes one hurt person to generalize a people, and soon it goes from one person to 3 to 7 to 15 to 30 to 68. You know, it spreads like wildfire. So it hurts me for them, because, well, it hurts me for me, because I'm like, how are we supposed to not only, I feel like the goal should never be to tear down the other side, right? No matter the circumstances. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like there aren't shit guys. There are, right? And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a great guy. I'm not, right? There's a reason I'm single. You know what I mean?
Too much man to handle.
You feel me?
Because he hasn't seen these Texas girls yet. That's why.
Hey. But it does kind of hurt me, not only for who they're speaking about, but or like the women that would say that themselves, because that shows pain, and it shows some pain that hasn't been processed completely and hasn't been thoroughly dealt with. And you haven't found those things that can help heal you and get you right. Like, it just sounds like you have struggled with something, and you are projecting your bad views from whatever caused it onto the rest, right? And it's a slippery slope, right? Because I could sit up here and be like, all women ain't shit, right? That's not true, right? Martin's got an amazing wife. D2 has an amazing wife. I have an amazing mother and an amazing sister. Women are the shit. There are a lot of women that are the shit, right? So, but that would be me just projecting. And I think the only thing you do when you project your anger, because when we're hurt, we tend to project. And the only thing we do with projecting our hurt is hurt others. And I think it does it on both sides of the spectrum. So that's for me. It kind of hurts, but not just hurting for me and my brothers, but for everyone. Because you're like, here's an example, right? If I say women ain't shit, right? There's women are terrible at relationships, right? There's going to be someone that sees that, a girl who is also just as broken or hurt as I would be, projecting mine, right? And what's she going to do when she gets offended by that? Project right back at men, right? And that's why you see, I know we've all seen the posts on Instagram, on TikTok, where it's a joke making fun of the man, or making fun of a wife who like waits for her man to sit down. Got to bring the pen out. Waits for her man to sit down. And then it's like, hey, babe, can you go grab me this? And like, we all know, y'all know as husbands, the wife will wait. And then you're like, oh, like I'm comfy. You just sat down. Why I just got here. Why'd you wait? You know what I mean? Yeah. And if you go under those posts, like, it's supposed to be a funny joke that others send to their friends that have wives, or that they send to their wife to kind of pick with them. It's a joke. It's lighthearted. But if you go under those posts, you realize that people will get offended by that joke, and then they start shooting their shots, and they'll send shots at the men, and then people are under that comment in the thread shooting shots back at the women. It's a constant jip jab, right? And that's what I feel. That's the only thing that I feel like that statement or that sentiment does, is it just it divides women and men more, instead of looking at it like, hey, certain women aren't good at relationships. Like, you have a bit of maturing to do, or I have a bit of maturing to do. It goes back to the thing of like, I feel the same when it comes to we don't need men, or like we don't need women. Like, no, we both need each other. Like, men need women fundamentally, and women need men fundamentally, like down to the bare minimum roots of civilization, right? And reproducing. We all need each other. You can freeze those eggs, right? Like we can all go to the sperm bank and donate. You can freeze those eggs, but guess what? Once those eggs are gone, you're not going to be able to produce embryos within the lab fast enough to repopulate the earth. You know? So it's just one of those irrational generalizations that I feel like does nothing but hurt us as a society and us as a core of, like, especially like for, in my instance, especially like single people. That does nothing but spread us apart. That does nothing but build more barriers for us to break down as a society. That's just me. It would be pain. I went in way too deep, but that's me. It would upset me. It would hurt me. What about you?
I think that statement in itself, it's too general. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a generalization of what you're feeling at the time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I also think for myself, when I first heard that statement, or when I see, you could be on TikTok, YouTube, whatever, and you're seeing like people bashing men when it comes to relationships. You know, like you said, hurt people hurt people. Hurt people are also going to have a different or a broken view of something that they struggle in, right? So I see this statement, and as much as I want to disagree with the statement, I have to agree with the statement as well. Because there are men who are terrible at relationships. They're terrible at building trust. They're terrible at being faithful to the person that they have committed that time and that season to. They're terrible at being intimate. They're very jealous. They are very possessive, and they also don't even know how to view or even not even objectify the woman that they're with. So therefore, when it comes to that, the men who are like that are terrible at relationships because they're just causing more and more heartbreak. But then you have the other side, people who are like my grandfather, my father, my uncles, my cousins, my mentors, the people that I have seen, the people that I'm striving to be. Yeah. Like who are very, they're very faithful. They are trustworthy. They are able to, they build on the relationships because they see where they've messed up. They see where they need to grow, and they take those times and lessons to grow from those situations. And so, like, I'm not gonna see one of those guys mess up and be like, "Oh yeah, all men are terrible." No, there are many men out there, and I'm pretty sure you guys can list a few in your own life who are great at relationships. And it's not even necessarily the relationship with it's not even it's not even with the relationship with a woman, but friendships and brotherhoods, and stuff like that. And
down here. Both of them.
Right. Right. It's even even in building relationships in that way, there is a sense of trust that needs to happen there. And for me personally, trust is very important foundation in any relationship that I'm in, with my wife, with my sisters, with my parents, my friends, my brothers. Like that is one of the main foundations that I have. And once that trust is broken, like it's really hard for it to be built back. It takes time. And so when you look at that, when I look at that and I hear the statement and I see the statement being thrown around, like it angers me, but then I see the truth of it all. Now, I think it can't be, like Cole said, it can't be all men, right? because there are great men out there who are great at relationships. There are men out there who are striving to be better in relationships. But the question is, what are the men who are constantly messing up, constantly causing hurt, going to do to change that? You know what I'm saying? And I honestly can say I used to be one of those guys who if a girl was done having a relationship with me, would probably walk away and say, man, I just keep attracting the guys who don't know how to be in a relationship. I used to be one of those dudes. How do I get to be the man that I am today? I literally had to, before I dated my wife, before I dated Kaylee, I took a 2-year break from dating, mainly because that relationship I was in beforehand, I got cheated on and I was very heartbroken. And my sister was like, man, you've been dating since yada, yada, yada. How about you just take a break, focus on yourself, focus on yourself, build up the person that you need to be. You know, instead of trying to go jump and find the next Miss Thing to be in a relationship with. And I said, I bet. And honestly, it was a bet. She was like, I bet you can't go a year without trying to date somebody, without trying to talk to a girl. I said, I could go a year without doing that. And so I took on that bet.
Easy.
And then and it was tough. I took on that bet, but I stayed to it. But like halfway through that year, I realized that, man, maybe all this stuff is happening to me because what I'm putting into that relationship isn't good. And I came to realize, man, I'm objectifying the women that I've been, trying to date. Like, I'm not seeing them for who they truly are. I'm seeing them as that eye candy that I can say, yeah, that she with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing her as, oh yeah, like, oh, I know, like, I could always text somebody because I'm feeling some type of way. I could just text her, yada, yada, yada. But not seeing her for who she is, not seeing the trauma that she's been through, not seeing the life that she had to go through, and so on and so forth. Sorry. But I had to learn through all that. And then, like, once that year passed by, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go another year. Because now I'm gonna focus on my relationship with God. I'm gonna focus on the man that God needs me to be in a healthy relationship, to be the person that I need to be. And so on and so forth.
Bro, we getting a whole guest show over there, bro. We got the dog. We just need the other dog in that Kairos. We got the whole fam.
Kairos is asleep. He going night-night. But yeah, it was a lot of work because I found out that I was one of the dudes who was a problem. I was a problem guy. And because I saw that in me, I see and anytime I see that statement, I can be like, man, that used to be me. And I understand why a woman would feel that way about a man, because I used to be the dudes that used to be like, a number's a number. Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel that. So I can resonate with what you're saying right there. How, looking back, right? You took a 2-year hiatus from dating. Looking back, it started with that bet with your sister. Which one? Your sister was spitting facts though. But
that's big sisters do.
Yeah, honestly. Looking back on it though, as it started as just a bet with your sister, is it something that you look back on and you D2, what'd you just send me, Doug? What'd you?
Nothing, bro.
I was wondering what you were laughing about.
D2's still on mute from the last message he sent me. So
do you think that obviously it played a role, because had you probably not taken that hiatus, there's a large chance that you and Kaylee would not have hit it off the way you did, or been in those shoes to go down the road that you two have now embarked on this partnership together. How big of a role did it play for you? And with it, if it did play a role, did you notice it immediately, or how long did it take? Like, at what point did you notice that it was playing a role, and that it was a vital thing that you needed to do, not only for your success, but with your successful relationships moving forward.
I mean, I noticed a difference when my mindset changed. My mindset went to I can't lose this. My initial mindset was I can't lose this bet to my sister. To I want to strive for marriage. You know what I'm saying? So like I knew that in that season of time, my prayer in that time was, may the next woman I have like deep rooted, enriched feelings, may that be my wife.
Amen.
Like, because I know when I start dating her, I'm not dating just to date. I'm dating with the journey and the mindset towards marriage. And so it probably was that second year where that mindset flipped for me, where I wasn't just trying to not talk to women and stuff like that. Excuse me. Where I wasn't not just trying to talk to girls left and right and like not try to be like that dude, but I was striving in my self-reflection and growing and seeking mentorship from other godly men, where I was asking for advice of like, hey, what were you doing before you met your wife? How were you already in that mindset? You know, when it came to date the girl that became your wife, like, how did you know? You know, what were some of the steps that you were doing? And so like my questions changed, my prayers changed, my goals changed. It went from I'm trying to date the next pretty girl to I'm seeking out who this person truly is, you know? And so that's why, I mean, Kaylee and I's relationship started with me getting friend zoned multiple times. And she's giggling right now as she's meal prepping. She's the villain of our love story. I keep telling her that, okay? No, but like it started off with me getting friend zoned multiple times. And as much as I knew that like this is the girl I want to date, you know, I had to take being put in the friend zone seriously. You know, I was like, okay, well, maybe this is just me being me again. Maybe this is Martin going back to that old Martin mindset. All right, let me just focus on, you know, my school and my studies and my job at the time. And so I started doing that. And even in praying, like I still had deep like feelings for this girl and for Kaylee. And I kept praying like, Lord, like, she friends on me. Why do I have these feelings for her? Like, take these away from me. If this is not going to happen anymore, please, like take these feelings away. And I even told her, I was like, hey, listen, like, I like you so much that we can't be friends. If you're gonna put me in the friend zones, I have to step back in our friendship, or we're not gonna hang out all the time. We're not going to talk every single day, because for me, like, I'm seeing that as like, oh, she may have feelings for me back, yada, yada, yada. I have to step back. And there was a good, 3-4 months where we didn't really talk. We didn't hang. We said hi when we saw each other in the hallways or in on campus, but we didn't talk because like I truly had to focus on myself. I truly had to focus on my relationship with God before I could focus on being in a relationship with somebody else. And so that's what helped me. And so that it was literally that the different mindset, the different goal that I had for myself that made a big change into the person that I was when I did actually start dating Kaylee. So that in that relationship, it wasn't just, man, I'm trying to get to third base, you know, but it went to, I need to know who Kaylee is truly. I want to get to know her.
We've all had that relationship, right? Like I wasn't the only piece of crap that had like I'm about to get to third base, and like that was all my brain was wrapped around.
Oh yeah. I mean, before Kaylee, all the relationships I was in, it was about trying to see what base I can get to.
Okay. Or
yeah. But Kaylee was the first. I can honestly say would be the first girl that I feel like I did not objectify as I dated her, because I truly saw her for who she truly was, and ultimately she's a child of God. If I'm going to date the daughter of God, I better treat her as such.
Go ahead, preach real quick, bro.
I
No,
agree.
no. I'm not ready for that sermon yet. I'm not. That sermon come later for final words. No, I'm playing.
That's a bar though.
But it's truly, yeah. What about you, D2? Like, what? How did your mindset change before you met your wife, and as you were dating your wife? Oh no.
I made Martin look like an angel. Would you say that? Truthfully, I always knew I was gonna be married before I got turned 40. I always knew that. Didn't know to who. My grandmother told me when I was 19. No, I was 16. She died when I was 16. I was gonna get married to a white lady. I said, "Yes, you're a rabbit head man." She said, "Boy, come here," and she punched me. Don't cuss me. I said, "Yes, ma'am." But she said, "You can get married to a white lady." I'm like, "You crazy? Whatever, lady." Met my son's mama's first baby mama, second baby mama. Life frolicking in there in the open, just frolicking. Moved to Texas, frolicking. Was being a jerk one day on POF, and I met my wife. And her tag was, only thing I like white is vanilla ice cream. Me, being a jerk and a sarcastic idiot, said, "Hey, I met a dumbass black dude said, do you like chocolate ice cream?" Bro, she wrote me back a page of a page of HAs. I said, "Look, I'm about to get off this shit app. If you want to talk to me, here's my number." Shot it to her. Boy, I threw that lob like I was D Wade throwing to LeBron. And she caught it and dunked it. It was wrap. It was over. It was history from there. But I will say this: marriage is hard because I never been married, I only been in one committed relationship before I met my wife, and it was my first son's mother. And that shit sucked ass. Wasn't a real relationship. So when I got married, everything was, ooh, I gotta learn how to do this, gotta learn how to do that, learn how to be a man, gotta learn how to take care of your wife, gotta learn how to do this, learn how to do that. Needless to say, I screwed up plethora of times. And I had to learn when almost got divorced because I cheated, that it's not about how green the grass looks. It's about how water you keep your grass. And if your grass isn't water, then you will eventually kill your grass. And dead grass equals lonely life and no happiness. So I was like, I gotta water my own grass. And eventually my marriage got better. Still had hiccups sometimes. I do dumb stuff. But my wife knows she's the only person for me. I don't look at people the same anymore. Yeah. I can see a lady walk down, she's not just like, yeah, what it is. I mean, you're a natural man, blood flows through the body. Oh shit. That ain't for it. That ain't what but I don't see women the same anymore. So a woman to me now. Ooh, she cute now. She all right, she decent. I got what I want at home. So I feel like throughout my relationship journey, it got me ready for where I am now. But I was a frolicking little frolicker before I met my wife. I could say that truthfully. She didn't believe me, so she had to ask my mom. My mom said, "Girl, let me tell you." I said, "Shut up." Shut it up. My mom, she had me. Mama said, "Girl, my son was the man I heard. And he said he want to be with you. You better listen to that man, girl." But I really love my wife. Like I said, I was a horrible person before I met her. Very horrible. What did my old folks say? I got to get the gab. I literally can sell water to a well, oil to a seal, peanuts to an elephant. Man, well, you name it, I can do it. I can sell the fur to a polar bear. You dig what I'm saying? I can do it all. And I was just like, do I want to be that guy for the rest of my life? And I'm like, I don't. I'd rather be happy and married. Like my cousin, he know he won't be married. I knew I was getting married. I'm like, I can't be out in the street with 30,000 million different people. My conscience eats at me, so I'm like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah. One thing I had to learn, one thing that I'm continually learning is how different the male mindset is to the woman female mindset. In making a relationship work, and I'm talking strictly in my relationship with Kaylee. And so if you guys can relate to this, I would really love to like hear your thoughts. But anytime there's a disagreement, I truly feel like my wife thinks that we on the brink of divorce. And like for me, I'm simply in this situation. And one thing that I've learned is that even in disagreement, I have to tell my wife that I love her and that like I'm not going nowhere. That like I'm not looking for a divorce lawyer or anything, but that I'm just strictly
Bitch, I
upset
don't be bothered
about
right
a
now.
situation, right? I'm just bothered and annoyed or upset at this specific situation. And then because I'm upset about this specific situation, doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that I thought about this, about our whole relationship, right?
Brother.
But for her, it's like, man, Martin's upset with me. He must be he's probably been fed up with me about this since the moment he met me, yada, 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 yada.
Just
And so like
random stuff.
and so having to navigate, her love through her love language, even in the midst of disagreement and arguing, and even in the moments I am frustrated with her, like it was, I'll be honest, like it was tough, like communicating to her that I'm frustrated with her, because I know if I communicate that to her, she's about to have a terrible day. Like for me,
Meltdown, breakdown, anxiety.
she could tell me she's frustrated with me, and I'll be like, nah, I
Okay,
fix that
like,
later.
whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, she'll.
Cool, thank you. Give me
I
some
was like,
peace.
all right, I'll leave you alone. I'll let you breathe a little, and then we come back and talk later on. But like, if I were to tell her, like, hey, I'm frustrated with you, like, ding, ding,
Niagara
ding, like, why are
Falls.
you frustrated? I'm like, oh my gosh, like, no, like, just let me
I
breathe a
need
little,
my
let me have some
peace. Let me
space,
have a space.
let me, So like in the relationships that you guys has had, and I could tell that D2's related to me a lot. But for you, Cole, in your past relationships, right? What are some things that, after the breakups, that you've looked back and you've reflected on things that, you've learned, things that you want to get better at, so that when Mrs. Cole World show up, that you've worked on these things. I guess like what is in that in that
Duffel
the
bag.
baggage that you have? Yeah, that duffel
Yeah.
bag. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That you are currently working on, because I know there's a lot of things even in a growing and loving relationship that I'm in now that I'm still working on as well.
Okay, so in doing that, I need to take you back, right?
Okay.
First off, I don't do the short flings, right? If we get together, like each of my relationships have been over like multiple years. It's not like I don't do the 1 week thing. I don't do like the booty call thing. Like I am very like one thing I am very I like to say, like, what is the way, I'm very progressive in most areas of my life. Like I feel like the society is ever changing, and for the most part I try to keep up with the new, and because in new things you do find beautiful things. But when it comes to relationships, I would say that I am actually very traditionalist, um in the thing of like, yo, like we are in this together, like I'm committed to you, even through the good and the bad. Like I'm very like, even if we arguing, like there is no leaving. Like you can go to the other room and chill out, but like there's no leaving. We're gonna have this discussion. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna talk through this. If we're not just gonna sweep it under the rug, we're not gonna like avoid it. And like I've told y'all, like one thing that I live by is don't let 24 hours pass without speaking on something. Like if there's an issue, you speak on it. Like get everything out there, speak on it, because you'll never move forward without it. So let's back up. With all that said, let's back up, right? I dated one girl throughout high school.
Like all 4 years?
We broke up for like
a day.
We had this it was like 4 months between junior and senior year, and then she had moved schools, and then she came back, and she really just like broke down. Like she broke down on me. It was me and her are really good friends. Like even after our breakup, which we dated for almost 4 years, and we ended up going to college together where we broke up. What I would say I learned from that one, my biggest takeaway was that I am very, and I feel like I get this from my mother, because my mother is also like this. I'm a perfectionist, and not like everything has to be perfect, but it has to be done the way I think it should be done. And I like to like oversee it being done, so I make sure that nothing flaws out or happens, and if something does, I'm there to fix it. You know what I mean? And one thing about that is like, especially in those years where me and her were dating, and even in every, like, even as in adult life, right? Like we're all our own beings. We're all our own people. We have our own views and thoughts on how things should go. And I was very immature in the ways of like, I felt like I knew what was best. And I would I'm one to like continuously give as y'all know, I give input on everything. Like if you ask me a question, I'll throw my 2 cents in on it. But it's even more like with that one person, I'm very like, well, you should do this. You should do this. Well, I don't agree with that. And I was very not controlling, but over assertive on how someone else should live their life. And almost like dictating what was best for them instead of letting them carve out their own path, right? And I think to an extent that takes away someone's ability to be themselves and like express their individuality and their own thoughts and views. You know what I mean? And that ultimately is what that, and I have this really, really bad habit. I picked it up midway through high school. Just around people that I hung out with, most of my homies at the time. I have a really bad habit, and I have been working on this proactively for a minute. I have a really bad habit of referring to like women, not like to their face, but like if I'm talking about a woman, I think y'all know what's I tend to say bitch. I'd be like, oh, well, that bitch said, or you'll never guess what this bitch did. You know what I mean? It's a habit. I don't do it out of like a disrespect, even though it is disrespectful. Yeah. It's not intended to be disrespectful, but I just say it. And it's one thing that ever since my last relationship ended, I've been like, yo, I really got to work on that. So that was what I would take away from the first one. And I had some like little flings, like I tried talking to people in between those, but like it didn't work. There were fundamentally morally we didn't agree on things, and it just wasn't. And then when I came back from school, I met this girl, and we dated for a little over 3 years as well. Man, John, you already know. You ever had a girl that was like a great person and you just a real piece of shit? That was one of those. Man, like I still I look back on that relationship, and near the end, we both did wrong in ways by each other, and like we weren't the nicest or the most respectful or the most caring towards each other, because we both had saw the end coming for a bit, but neither of us hopped ship completely. That was one that I was like I walked out of it once I left and had some time to think. That was one where I was like, even with all the wrongs on both sides, ultimately it was me. Like I started it. I'm the one that caused the issues. And it was. I have an issue about when I feel like I'm wronged, even in like not in a slight way, but like in when I feel I'm like disrespected in a horrible way, or you show me that you don't care about the us in the equation. Like we all have ourselves to look after, but there's also an us, right? And especially because we had been living together. When I feel like I've been wronged, I tend to, and this isn't just with relationships, like romantic relationships, but when I feel like I'm wronged in a detrimental way, I start packing. And like not actually packing, that's like the metaphor of packing, but I start looking for my out. And I start like investing myself, like part of me into the out. You know what I mean? Just in case. It's almost like a coping mechanism for when it goes south. And you can't do that. Like it's okay like to look out for yourself, but it's almost I feel like it's almost like jumping ship, right? And I don't know. There was so many things like it was disrespect. And this is on my end. It was disrespect. It was prioritizing myself over them. It was my own interests are more important. It was neglect. It was man, it was one of those things where I had a girl who loved me more than she loved anything.
Mm.
And a girl that was God-fearing, and a girl that was not a people pleaser, but was all about the people around her.
Right.
And like if this girl had $5 and you needed $5, you had her money. You know what I mean? And not that that was the case, because you know I let her move in with me, and I didn't really in the start of the relationship. She was in school, so I wanted her to focus on her academics and her studies. And I fucked that up. Plain out, I did that. Like that was the hardest thing. That took me a while to be able to look myself in the mirror and not only admit it to myself that you were the issue, you are the reason that failed, and you're the reason that these things happened. But it also to like look at myself and be like, I need to fix, I need to grow and mature and be a better person myself, right? Yeah, my man, you a fool, bro. So,
Hey, what's up, Lalo?
and
I
that's
just saw
part
his
of the
comment.
literally, and that's part of the reason that like I've been single, bro. I've been single coming up this January, right? This next January, 2024, will have been 4 years that I've just been chilling, which has been great because I've had time to work on myself. I have been able to put more times into my studies, and getting to where I want to be. But it also has a jagged edge. It's like a two-way because at the same time, I have been single for so long and like actively not really searching or not actively searching for something. I've almost grown too accustomed to being single, to being alone. And it's gotten me to the point where I'm like, bro, I'll have people hit my DMs, right? Like not exceedingly. Like I'm not sitting here gonna say like I have every girl on the block hitting up me. No, not in the slightest, right? But I'll have a girl here and there that will hit me up. And like I've had
paper or plastic.
I can't even like I've hit the talking stage with one or two of them, right? Where we like actually like start talking, planning to like hang out.
Mhm.
And I even hung out with that one. Y'all remember because I told you about it. Um, I can't pull myself to do it, man. Like,
Mm.
and I don't know if that's a them thing or a me thing more.
Lalo said
Um,
he in the DMs too.
yeah, oh, I be in Lalo's DMs. He don't ever respond back, bro. I sent him a meme like
He
a
too busy
year or two
playing
ago.
Destiny.
Yeah, he don't, bro. My man is goaded on that Destiny though.
I know he
He
is.
don't play about that Destiny. Um, nah, bro. I don't know, man. It could be. I don't know if it's like I fear that I'm not ready and that I could hurt someone again. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or that I'm scared that I'll be the one hurt this time because I don't want to. You always hear that thing of karma comes around, right? And that thing
Right.
gonna come around and get you, right? Well, I wronged somebody. Now, what if karma comes back to get me in this next one? Like I fall head over heels for someone. I invest my all, like my blood, my sweat, my soul into this girl, and it backfires on me the same way that it happened the other. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Um, so it's like a double-edged sword because now I'm like I can't make that jump. As well as now I'm like really in love with like I have found like a passion for sports. And like I like when I got in my relationship, like I really just let go of my interests. Because I find it hard to like multitask. So I fell in love with my sports. I fell in love with my studies. I fell in love with like my family. No, that sounds weird. Fell in love with like
Yeah, but we
spending
get what
time
you're
with my
saying.
family.
Yeah.
Things that like when I was in that relationship, I didn't put much energy into. And that's why, like I told y'all like not too long ago, like I've been able to like go really close again with my sister. And really close to my brother-in-law. And so there's certain things that I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready, but I also don't want to I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to hurt, but I also don't know if I'm ready to sacrifice what I have been building outside of my growth. You know what I mean? Does that make
Ooh,
sense?
but let me ask you this question. Why would you have to sacrifice the things you've been building? Because
Not really like not my
I'm
studies,
gonna
not my
be
studies or anything,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But I'm even talking about like the relationships that you've rekindled with with your sister and your brother-in-law,
Mhm.
the things that you have been building on. Why does it have to be a sacrifice? Why does that have to take a back burner? If that makes sense. Because honestly though, like for me, uh my relationships became my everything. Like it at a point in sense, it became my identity. Like
Mhm.
Martin is the person who's dating this girl, so on
Yeah.
and so forth. And so when
Mhm.
I did have my 2 year break and I'm working on and yeah, my relationship with my sisters got better, with my family got better. You know, I was a better brother, I was a better son. You know, the friendships that I was making, you know, like I was building on that. You know, they're, you know, my college guys who I hung out every day, worked out with, did intramurals with, even signed up for classes together at the same time. Like there was a bond that was happening there. And like for me, instead of it being like, oh man, when I have a girl, I'm about to lose all this. Why can't my girl, like, not saying that I'm gonna force my girl into, you have to be a
Yeah, yeah,
part
yeah,
of
yeah.
this, but like she should fit in. Like I would want her to like my friends. I would want her to fit in with my family. Though, you know, there may be some growing pains because it's an outsider coming in, you know,
Mhm.
but like I shouldn't have to sacrifice the things that I'm working on, because the things that I'm working on should build me up to be a better man for her, if that makes sense. You know what I'm
True,
saying?
true, true, true.
Yeah. I I get what you're saying, right? Um it's weird. So one the main thing, right? Like if you're looking for an actual reason, um, would probably be within me because I haven't tapped into like that unlimited motivation, right? And I'm very like one dimensional in the ways of when I'm 100% in on something, I give everything I have to that one thing. it's hard for me to spread it across like a multitude of things, right? So then like it goes into the list of priority. But at the same time, like one thing that I've always like since I've been closer with my sister, right? I'm like the one thing. It's funny. I was literally telling her this like yesterday or no today. Any
Oh no.
anybody that I'm going to engage with on a romantic level, or the woman that I will one day hopefully elope with, right? Elope is that what?
Take the private chat.
Bro, what are you?
Oh my gosh. So the one thing you got to elope. Yeah. Go ahead.
That is marrying, right? Make sure I'm not.
Yeah.
Elope is corny. Elope is married. Elope is when you hop over the broom and you go get married with no one knowing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It's
marrying,
basically
but
without the big ceremony and all that. Yeah.
Okay. So, but the girl I one day will in a perfect world marry, right? They would have to get along with my brother-in-law and my sister, because they're such an intricate part of my day-to-day life. Like I can't see a world where I'm not like, when I'm retired, I'm not going to this pop shop to eat breakfast on a Sunday with my brother-in-law and my sister, right? Like
Right.
they're like my right hand people. Like they're my best two friends. They're the people I confide in. They're a little annoying, and I am without a doubt sure I annoy them. But like any girl that I would be with would have to get along with them, because you're gonna see them, right? Like you're gonna be around them because I'm gonna be around them, and that's like my one thing that I refuse to settle on. They would have to get along with them. I think where it becomes like you'd have to sacrifice is me. Like it comes down to me. And like I'm very homebodied. Like I love to socialize, but I'm very homebodied. Like as I've gotten older, I've become more homebodied. Like I like I like to be where I'm comfortable. And like I like to go out of my comfort zone, but I only have a certain amount of social tolerance before I just get annoyed of being around so many people, and I'd rather just be at home, you know? Um it's more of just me. It's my inability to. Plus, okay, so in a perfect world, I would find a girl who really loves basketball and football, right? I would find a girl who is really into those sports, and like we could share that interest, right? And she would also get along with my family and would understand the intricacies of my schedule and how I work my things out, and I could fit her in like time for us in, right? But it's me, dog. I'm so caught up on what I went through and what I put others through that I'm to the point where I'm like, I find an out, you know? Like I find a reason. I get out of it mentally somehow.
And I think we all have the tendencies to do that, whether that be in relationships or even in trying to set ourselves up for success. We look at the places that we fail, and we start believing that we are our failures. But I would tell you this: instead of beating yourself up on the things that on the places that you've messed up on, look at the places that you've grown. I have that clip that I put on TikTok when I was preaching about, like, when I was playing soccer, every time my team would lose, I would beat myself up a lot because I wouldn't look. I was always looking at the places I messed up, but I did not see the growth that I made as a player, of how I was making my team actually better. Though we had lost, okay, cool. the productivity that I had on the field was actually helping my team, because if you take me off the field, who's going to produce in the way that I was doing, right? And so, but I was so focused on the missed shots, the missed opportunities of passes, the turnovers, yada yada yada, that I didn't see my growth as a player. So I feel like you have the tendencies to look at your mess ups and feel like that is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But I think something that, this is just my advice to any man who will listen to this, or any person. Like, know this: you're not your mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. Shoot, I'm married. I have a kid and a kid on the way. I make mistakes, and I will continue to make mistakes. The question is, am I going to be man enough to acknowledge the mistakes, confront the mistakes? So if I do Kaylee dirty, right? If she tells me to do something that, or I need to show up for something that's very important to her, I make the promise that I'm going to be there, I'm going to support, and then all of a sudden I don't, right? And then I, and I see that it affected her. I see that she communicates to me that, man, she really wanted me there. It would have meant a lot. It would have been this, and that. If I don't take the time to acknowledge the fact that I'm in the wrong here, if I don't take the time to acknowledge and to show her and to love on her in that moment, like, of course I'm not going to grow. Of course I'm going to continually the next time do the same thing over and over again. Excuse me. But I also got to see, okay, this is where I messed up. This is how, when in talking with Kaylee, in because I know that in our relationship, we're going to talk through our issues, we're going to talk through our problems, not so that I am going to just please her in everything that we do, but so I can genuinely know how to love her better. Mm-hmm. Because when I am able, and it's the same way for me. When Kaylee messes up, when Kaylee does something to hurt me, if I don't communicate how she's hurt me, how can I expect her to love me better, right? Mm-hmm. And so if I'm going to expect Kaylee to love me better, I must then communicate to her where she's gone wrong and vice versa. So she's going to communicate to me where I've gone wrong and how I can treat her better, how I, even in arguments, that's something that we do, like in the heat of the argument. And then even at the end of the argument, we'll talk about okay, when you said this is how you made me feel. And then we break it down from there, so that next time we are arguing, I don't say that word. I don't have that tone in my voice. I'm able to communicate how I feel and how hurt I am without making her feel less than, without making her feel like she can't do anything right in our relationship, But mm-hmm. all that to say is this: part of growth is seeing where you've messed up, acknowledge the mess up, and then improving from there, right? Yeah. It's the same thing in athletics. It's the same thing with playing basketball. When you watch tape, is it for the coach to berate you and make you feel like you were the worst player in the world, or is it to make you a better player? Because you're going to see, oh man, we're playing zone. I left my guy in the corner to help the big in the paint when I should have stayed. Okay, I see that. That's my tendency. That's something that I tend to do because I'm seeing tape. I see myself do this. Let me correct that. I'm going to stay in the corner, right? Mm-hmm. And you acknowledge that. And then so next time in the game, because you have the knowledge of, all right, this is my tendency. This is what I tend to do. Now I'm going to fix that. I'm going to stay in the corner, right? I'm going to do this and that. And because you've made that next step, there's opportunities for you to figure out what else in your game that you can get better at. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing for who you are personally. Like I don't think I don't think you are your mistakes. I don't think you are the same person you were in that last relationship that you were in. I think you're probably, I'm not even gonna say probably, you are a better man today than you were then. And I think go ahead.
We are, like you said, we are not our mistakes.
Yeah.
Our mistakes make us who we are today. Whether they were good mistakes, bad mistakes, indifferent, you learn from everything. Yeah. Everything is a learning experience. I'm gonna read y'all.
I will say,
Burning Man
go
said,
ahead.
money attracts the female you want. Struggles attract the woman you need. That is a true statement. Because with money, you can get the baddest.
Go ahead, drop that one more time.
Burning Man said, money attracts the females you want. Struggle attracts the woman you need. That is so true. And marry me understand it to a T. Some unmarried men, but I know most married men understand it. Because when you had money and you had that woman or girlfriend who was by your side, and the day you couldn't buy her a Birkin or a pair of shoes, you don't love me. Whereas when you got a wife, is, hey, look, I know you don't have a job right now. I can float it. Just try to help us in some kind of way, whether it's cleaning the house or doing this, then the third. Just try to help some way or another to show me you're not just being lazy. And I think that ties back into Martin's question of how are men or how women say men aren't good men or men can't keep relationships, because at the end of the day, it's a two-way street. And I feel like, to piggyback on what Martin said earlier, with the marriage thing, it's crazy. Perfect example. I had to tell my wife I'm sorry, I love her last night, because I couldn't go to sleep being mad. I wasn't mad. She was mad. Like, I can tell when she mad. What you doing? Nothing. I'm okay. Why you so? I'm okay. I'm just tired. Went in there and gave her a hug and kiss, told her I was sorry. She was happy-go-lucky, smiling, cheerful. It's just, as Martin would say, knowing your partner. But at the same time, like with the arguments with my wife, we argue. Are you gonna go find somebody? No, wait a minute, I'm with you. Only thing I'm going to find is my bed and my pillow. Other than that, I'm not going nowhere else. I don't want nothing. I don't see nothing. I'm happy. It's crazy that not only just I was the only person who went through that, but hearing Martin say that made me laugh, because that's a married man's thing every day. Oh my God, we had an argument, girl, we breaking up. No, we're not. Stop lying to people.
I just want to throw this in that's completely off topic. Every time I pick the Chargers to win, they fucking sell. Every time I pick them to lose, Herbert comes out looking like motherfucking Brett Favre on the good day. Like motherfucking don't you say nothing to me, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, what do y'all think? Why? I mean, I guess it is just the difference in mindsets. Wouldn't it be why women tend to assume that the worst is happening after every small argument or inconvenience?
Yeah, their brain is completely wired different than ours. Like everything is connected to their emotions. And for us, we are more, I don't want this to come across as saying like, oh, we are more logically sound than they are, because I know a lot of very smart, logical women. But everything is. I'm speaking in the sense of the relationship that I'm in. Yeah. I'm in the sense like I am in a relationship where my wife thinks through her emotions and I think through situations. And so and it's a really good balance at times, because there are times where she would tell me, well, how would that person feel if you say this or do this, Martin? I'm like, oh, I didn't take that in consideration, because I'm just trying to speak the truth and move about my way. And then on the other side, I'm like, she was, try to think through something. And I'm be like, well, babe, it work, in the sense like you're working a little harder instead of smarter. So do it this way, be more efficient that way. And so like, and for me, in an argument, like if I'm at fault, right, I'm more arguing in the sense of like, this was my mindset when I said this. It wasn't intended. Let's move on. But she needs to address her feelings. So therefore, I need to address her feelings. And if her feelings aren't addressed, Martin don't love me. Me, if like Kaylee's in the wrong, just tell me that you ain't gonna do this no more. Like, and I
And we good.
understand that. Not even that we're good. Just say that. Just say you're sorry, but in the sense of like, I ain't gonna do this no more. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's that. You know, I'm not gonna be like, I'm so flabbergasted, perplexed, and that's not me. You know.
You are speaking of a true married man, bro.
I'm pretty sure
for
Stephen
me,
A says that like daily on First Date, bro.
Flabbergasted. But for me though, like I've noticed in the times where I get upset or I'm frustrated in my relationship, it's in the moments where I feel like I'm not heard. It's the moments where I feel like I've expressed to you how I felt. I've also expressed to you or communicated in the way that we've decided that we're going to communicate with one another, and yet I'm still not heard. And that's a different, and it goes from a sense of men are looking for respect, women are looking for affection.
I feel like you hit that so hard with a hammer, brother.
Facts.
I don't mean to cut you off, but women
women
look at it as if I'm not right, I'm wrong. There's not always a right answer sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you don't give them the affirmation or say what they want to hear, it's, excuse my French, all hell breaks loose. Whereas what Martin just said, I just want to be heard and respected. A lot of women these days don't let their men be men.
I think one thing that gets lost into relationships today, maybe not in marriages, you know, but because you or maybe it does. I mean, maybe just at a lower consistency. I know what happens often in like the dating stage. Two things can be right at one time.
Oh yeah.
Like just because we go a different route or we don't see the same result or the same cause or whatever, like there doesn't always have to be a right person and a wrong person. In the same way that there can be two, like you both can be wrong, you both can be out of line, right? Like, but two people can be right at the same time and it just be one of those things. I think
like think about and sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but
no, go ahead.
In my mind, I'm thinking about like just because I got disrespected doesn't mean I get to disrespect you.
Oh yeah.
So like you've done me wrong, so now I'm gonna do you wrong. And so therefore, and now like I'm arguing about how you've wronged me, and I don't care. And like in that the walls are up, and now I'm saying things because I'm mad and I'm frustrated. I'm saying things that are hurting you, and you're getting more upset because I'm saying things that are hurting your feelings. And so now we're gonna butt heads about, well, who's mad first? It doesn't matter. You both are angry at each other. You both are right how the other person in that relationship has hurt one another. The question is, are you going to acknowledge it? Are you both going to acknowledge it and work past it? And I think a lot of times in the dating where you see the breakups is that there's a line that's crossed and both sides don't acknowledge the line and work to get back to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, you must live in my room. You must live in my house, brother. It's crazy, man. Because bro, I never knew other married couples go through the same stuff I go through. Like, bro, it'd be baffling. Like last night, perfect example. I was wrong because I did some dumb jump. And wife said something and I flipped it just like that. But I didn't flip it. It was flip you. It was like, yep, I'm done. I'm a horrible person. I suck at life. Yeah, I do. Just to be spiteful to make her feel like what she was saying.
Make her feel bad. Right.
It doesn't have to be a F you or I hate you. It can be taking what they're saying and twisting it to where, you know, when you say that, it hurts them more to the point where they want to shut down and end the argument. And you feel like that, okay, I won. But deep down, you're like, damn it, I won. I didn't want to win. dang, it's not supposed to be a winning argument. It's supposed to be like, hey, I'm sorry, and I was just like, dang it, like that sucks to know you know exactly how far to turn the knob, how high to crank the volume, what keywords and phrases to use to make their partner feel like what they said mattered, but you don't care about it, which kind of sucks because I was like, dang. I didn't sit here and say, yeah, I'm a hard person. Yep, I suck. I sure do. Okay, we're done. It's over with it. We're done. And I'm in my room, like in my game room, like, dang it, I suck as a husband right now because why am I twisting the knob of life knowing it hurts her to see it hurts her to hurt me, or it hurts to hurt her.
And it's one of those things as well where, like, I know every button that I can push to make Kaylee upset. I know every button. I know exactly what to say. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how, if she's hurt, I know how to make her feel that it was her fault that she got hurt. You know what I'm saying? I know what. And something that I have learned because Kaylee and I, we went to marriage counseling because there was just a season in our marriage where, like, we just couldn't get on the same page.
Every day.
You couldn't get on the same page. And the thing that was said to us was, when you're arguing, are you arguing to be right? Or are you arguing like, what is your purpose in your arguing with one another?
To be heard or be right.
Are you trying to be heard or are you trying to be right? And then a mindset change that happened was, instead of fighting against each other, you need to fight for each other. So, and what that means is this: if I am fighting against Kaylee, we're supposed to be teammates, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to be one unit. We're supposed to be on the same page, yada, yada, yada. But the more that I fight against her, the farther apart we become, right? More walls go up. We're not going to speak about our feelings. We're not going to make decisions together, right? So when the walls go up, when I notice that she has put a wall up because she feels hurt, she doesn't feel loved by me. There's not, what am I going to do to fight for her, to fight to get her back, right? What is she going to do to fight for me? So in the sense of, like, she's not fighting my battles, but I am doing everything to fight my own self that is trying to be right instead of hearing her out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there comes a point in that relationship, there comes a point in communicating where you need to put your selfish desires aside and be selfless so that you can love right, and vice versa, right? And not in a way of like, all right, babe, I'm putting my point on the side so I can hear you out, yada, yada, yada. No, it has to come from a place of love. It has to come from a place of actual affection to the other person. Because if Kaylee doesn't feel loved by me, she's not going to reciprocate love to me. So if I am not going to, and for her to feel loved by me isn't me rubbing her shoulders, isn't doing, it could be the smallest things. Like, I try, like, we have certain chores that we do around the house, but I know, like, when Kaylee comes home, she doesn't want to see dirty dishes. She don't want to see dog fur all over the kitchen floor, right? So, like, yes, those are my chores that I need to do. But am I doing them because they're chores, or am I doing them because I want my wife to feel relaxed and that she's coming to a clean home?
Right? I understand her partner's not just there to take up space. He actually cares for her and what she actually.
Right.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like, I mean, early on in our marriage, it literally, what Kaylee would tell me to do something, I'm like, all right, I'll do it on my time.
When I get ready, bro.
Yeah,
oh my God,
because I want to do, like, I'm in the middle of doing something and I'm enjoying my time. Why should I get up from playing Xbox to sweep the floor right now? Like, I'm in the middle. I'm finna drop 50 on 2K, right? Why do I need to get up and go wash the dishes right now, right?
Well, hey, are you done with your game? When you're done, can you do this? You like,
I play another 2 games, you know. But you
That's
get
because
what I'm
you
saying?
actually,
Like,
yeah.
you gotta the hard part is knowing when um to stop being selfish. Now, I'm not saying that if you're hurt or um if you feel what's what I'm trying to say? Like, don't go across of like if you're the person you're talking to or your wife or whoever it is, if they go, well, I feel hurt when I do this, that is not your opportunity to put back in their face, well, when you do this, you hurt me. Like, you actually got to take the time to hear them out, and then seek and then find the time to speak what's on your heart. If the only time I tell Kaylee how I'm truly feeling is after I've hurt her, just so that she knows that she's hurt me
No
back.
one's listening.
Yeah, that means the whole time she was explaining to me, I'm formulating, all right, what am I going to say back so that she can know that she hurt me when she did
What
this?
key word can I use to drop her heart, make her feel like, ooh, he's really mad at me? Like, brother, I promise you, we got.
This is crazy. I actually never thought of this, and y'all are now. I'm like applying it to past relationships, and I'm like, dang, bro, I am bad about that. Like, I am one to where I feel offended. I'll throw it back at something you did like a week ago that makes me feel bad, and I'm like, wow, like y'all have me over here like y'all are dropping dimes on me right now.
It's something that I am still working, and because I am taught somebody you gonna say something about me? I got you.
Yeah,
I got. Oh, okay. I've been holding this back. Okay.
I feel like that response is like a natural thing. Like when we feel
it's fight or flight. It's fight or flight.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you attacking me? You doing this to me? Oh, say less.
When I first met Martin, he told Breezy, when I first met you, you told me 2 things, and I never forgot those. Be my wife's a safe place, and let her know she's loved.
Mm-hmm.
And since you told me that, I've been trying to not throw a freaking rock the size of Colorado when we're arguing, and just be like, shut up and listen. Stop formulating the plan to drop her self-esteem, to say something to make her go, okay, you're right. I do that a lot. And it's like, now I'm like, ugliest face in the world is, but I'm listening more. I'm hearing what she said, what hurt her, what made her feel that way, why she feels the way she feels. It's just crazy, bro. We are touching some true. You are throwing some relay passes, brother, and I'm wide open in the corner, and I ain't missing. It's Hall of Fame. But what's crazy that you just said, like with the cleaning thing, bro. First 2 years of my marriage, wash dishes, sure. Move, I'll do it. Okay, I can put my game down.
Yeah,
but I don't like the kitchen clean. I'm not you. I don't clean your way, knowing I know exactly how to clean the kitchen the proper way. But you do it in spite, because hey, I got a partner. I want to do what I want to do. Why can't I do what I want to do? I worked all day too. Why I can't do what I want to do? Why I gotta do what you want me to do? It's crazy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jerk him right there.
So you jerk it in, brother.
I can't with the man.
He's so aggressive with it too.
Yes, dog.
I think the beauty of this, right, is not only is this like this is well spoken for one, both of you. But these are not only applicable like just for relationships with your girl, significant other or wives.
Yeah.
You can apply this to like your kids,
relationship,
your friends, your parents. I mean, this is something that is has a multiple use. I think, or is of multiple uses. And I think that's the real beauty in it, because man, y'all got me sitting over here just taking notes. Honestly, like I'm just writing a mental little notepad in my head right now. But I mean,
you want to hear something else?
Yeah, but I'm all for it. I'm in the time right now where like I'm here for what you. I feel like you better say. I'm
No,
here
no,
for
it's
growth,
nothing
right?
wild.
So like
Yeah,
this is stuff like, even though I'm not in a relationship with a female right now, but like I could use this with my sister, with my mother, with my, you know, with my friends, with y'all, you know, and especially with 2K, because I know D2 and me, man, D2 would be like, J. Cole, you need to stop doing this. And I'm like, well, so and so's not in. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I got
that's
you. Here's one. Here's one.
uh
A landmine of any relationship are hidden expectations.
indulge.
So
Did you hold on? Did you hear what he said, Cole?
Yes.
No, let me break it down to you in a marriage concept. In a marriage concept, he just struck a match on my fire, and my hair is on fire right now. My wife used to tell me all the time, I expect me from you. I'm not a science experiment. Those are my response. I'm not a science experiment. Tell me what you want me to do or want me to see.
Mm-hmm.
He just said a expectation is a landmine. You know how hidden
Hidden
those
expectation.
Hidden. Has to be hidden.
You know
Hidden.
do you know how hidden the landmine is? They set landmines over thousands of years ago and still don't find them till this day.
Mm-hmm.
Broken or not broken. Think of it, 1,000 years ago, and they're still found today, active. My wife would say, "I'd be like, babe, you gotta realize I'm not a science experiment. If you want me to do or think a certain way, I need you to talk to me.
The communication.
to me.
Exactly. Over
Show me.
communication is over communication is what's best. You see, and I say this because it's from experience, something that I'm even dealing with to this day. From me and also from my wife, from friends. You know, if there's an expectation I have of you and I don't communicate it to you, and I start getting frustrated at you for not doing the thing that I haven't communicated to you for you to do in the first place, who's at fault? Is it you for not knowing that I expected that from you? Or is it me from not communicating this is my expectation of you? And so a lot of the times you in relationships, you have people who get upset with one another. Um sorry. Uh in the time, I just lost my train of thought because my wife just texted me about something. What was I saying?
Train of thought in times of the hidden landmine.
Yeah. So if I don't communicate what I need you to do, and I'm getting upset with you about that certain thing, right? Then there's going to be you're gonna feel like you catch an attitude from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna be like, man, like why is Martin always on? Why he always on edge around me? Why is he always giving me attitude, or why is he responding this way when I talk to him? You know, and then there's a rift because now you feel some type of way about me while I'm continually feeling some type of way about you, even though I haven't even communicated. And so then when things start to build up, there's friction, and that continues to build up. And eventually all that tension is going to blow up, right? All that tension is going to happen. Great example, playing 2K with your boys, and all of a sudden Pastor Friendly Martin goes dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a roast battle ensues. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there was Gorilla Lips are talked about. There's a plethora of things that are being said. But in that moment, there was an expectation that I wanted that wasn't being met. And then all that tension started to build. And then it exploded, right? So yeah. And then 45 minutes of terrible communication happens after that. So like if I communicated what I was feeling in the first place, if I communicated my expectations that I have, all of that wouldn't have happened, right?
Mhm.
And even in relationships, if I expect you, Cole, to have my back at all times, but I don't tell you, hey man, this is what I expect from you when I call you a brother, when I call you my friend, this is what I expect in our relationship. This is what I expect in our friendship. If I don't tell you those things, when push comes to shove and something goes down, and your initial reaction to something is to, hey, when there's conflict, I walk away because I'm not trying to get in no trouble. And I'm like, hey, my boy got my where Cole go? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like if that's not communicated, now I'm mad at you because you didn't have my back. When you
Mhm.
were probably thinking, man, it's probably be best if we just walked away and just so that we safe, So like, and then now all of a sudden, instead of me having beef with somebody who I'm trying to, I actually have the beef with, I got beef with you because you walked away.
Mhm.
And you gonna be like, bro, you didn't tell me to stay back. You didn't tell me this is what you need from me. Because if that
Yeah.
was the case, I would have told you straight up. That's not my MO. That if I'm not that type of guy, I'm more of the type of guy who's like, hey, let's go cool off. Let's go walk this way. Let's go the other direction so we can live and see another day. And I would respect that. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Mhm.
like, even in any relationship that you have, hidden expectations are landmines. If there is an expectation of how you want to be treated, on how you want things communicated and dealt with, you must communicate that. Anytime
Yeah.
you have an expectation, you have to communicate it, because when you don't, boom, tension. And as that tension builds, you step on that landmine. Next thing you don't know if you want to be with that person or not.
That's real. I just want to say, I waited. I could not not address this one. Lalo said, "Go Saints," even though we still trash.
I can't talk bad about the Saints, so
I just think it's funny that at first it was
William.
what was his name? William? Yep. It was
Yep.
William West, and then it was Lalo coming in here. Both Saints mans.
Mm,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Who day?
Y'all want to do final words?
My final word would be
Final word is what?
patience.
Mm.
Patience.
That's it.
I
Just
think
patience.
Patience. It's a
I like
motherfucker.
that. I like that.
I think
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with this quote. If you watch Ted Lasso and other people, they have quoted Walt Whitman with this quote, but it's actually misattributed. It was first used in the Charlotte Observer in January of what was the year? Oh, I had it pulled up the other week when I was writing my paper, when I was working on my paper. But it literally just says, "Be curious, not judgmental." I was using that in my paper, and I feel like it's one thing that you can apply to many topics, but I think it can be looked at in many aspects of life. I didn't come with one, so I had to think of something off the top. I did not prepare a final word. Usually I have some saved.
Yeah, that was
Unprepared.
good.
What you
got?
got?
Two quotes. I got two quotes, and I'm not gonna like unpack on them, mainly
Mhm.
because I think I did a lot of talking this episode.
Sometimes it'll be that way.
I'm gonna just leave it at these. This quote made me think. I'm gonna dedicate this one to you, Cole. I'm gonna dedicate this one to you because
Uh-oh.
you said something, and when you were talking about like the sacrifices and stuff like that. So I thought of this quote. I remember this quote as you were talking at the thing. The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much and forgetting that you are special too.
Mm.
That's from Ernest Hemingway. Great quote. And then the last one is this. I feel like it just I think it just kind of summarizes the whole thing about relationships and all that. The meeting of two personality is like the contact of two chemical substances. Substance. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Regardless what relationships that you are in, whether it's good or bad, when you walk away from them, or if you continue to be in them, both people are transformed. Whether that be for the better or sometimes for the worse. But what are you going to do to better yourself moving forward? And so that is my question, or the final word of this podcast. I appreciate you guys being vulnerable, especially on a topic that's very, very personal. But like I said, this podcast is about us being open, and hopefully whoever listens to it can resonate. I mean, Lalo was in the comments talking about how you and him and Cole are very alike and similar. And so we wanted to be able to resonate with one another. But more importantly, I appreciate you guys being vulnerable and honest and open as we talk about these tough topics, and not being scared of, of what the world gonna think about me when I say this or not. So
Yeah.
With that being said, for those who watches, Ordinary Misfits has a new time slot, new day slot. So we are going to be every other Monday nights. So not next week, but the week after that, every other Mondays at 9 p.m. Central. That would be 10 p.m. Eastern. So I'll end up making like a Instagram, TikTok post, kind of like short little video, like I did for that first video we did. So with that being said, we love you, we appreciate you, and without you, we just three dudes with microphones, and it's a little weird. Actually, it's not. It's actually kind of our normal thing because we gamers. We gamers. So I pray and hope anybody and everybody who listens to this, I pray you can learn from our experiences, learn from the things we've gone through, but more importantly, know that you're loved and appreciated by us, because without the viewers, I thought I had something. It was going to rhyme with viewers, but I forgot it.
What if he got to say? Don't forget, pet that dog. I
You
pet
gotta
that dog.
That dog. You gotta pet that. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Peace and love, baby.